Hello, and welcome, creeps. You're listening to the Umbra Tapes, where we dive into unsolved mysteries, disturbing cases, and the downright weird. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Leah. Thanks for creeping in.
Strongsville, Ohio, 20 miles southwest of Cleveland. Population around 45,000. The kind of place people move to because nothing happens. Tree-lined streets, chain restaurants, high school football, weekend shopping at the mall. Safe, predictable, ordinary. On the morning of July 31st, 2022, that illusion shattered in less than 2 seconds. A surveillance camera captured a black Toyota making a completely normal turn. Nothing unusual. 1 minute later, a second camera caught the same vehicle, except this time, it was moving so fast it crossed the frame in under a second. Then, the sound. An impact so violent, witnesses would later describe it as sounding like an explosion. And inside that vehicle were 3 teenagers. Only one would survive. A tragedy. But investigators would eventually ask a different question. Not what happened, but whether somebody intended for it to happen. And once that question was asked, every text, every video, every argument started to look different. Tonight, we're talking about the crash that became one of Ohio's most controversial murder cases. Before we start, content warning. This episode contains discussions of fatal vehicle collisions, teen dating violence, substance use, and death. So I didn't watch the documentary, The Crash, and you did, right?
I did.
So this is going to be kind of a little different episode because you have more exposition than you usually would.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very forgetful, so that might help.
Well, I didn't watch The Crash, but I've watched multiple interviews on it. I've watched little clips of it. I've watched other content creators cover this case, from start to finish.
Well, so, I mean, you know.
I definitely know what's going on with it, if not more than what The Crash had actually shown.
Yeah, especially if there's other people talking about it.
Absolutely.
They don't include everything in that.
One of the content creators I'm watching right now, and she is going through it in extensive detail, and she does it with everything. Every case she ever covers is so in depth that you're like, this lady lives this.
Yeah, I love that though, because that's the type of people you want to watch, you know?
Exactly. You should look into her. It's Rotten Mango is her channel name.
Okay, I think I've heard of her.
Yeah.
I have heard of her.
She's great. She covered the Diddy files, the whole Diddy case from start to finish. She actually was at the trials and got a media pass. Yeah, dude, she's wild.
Okay.
This case though hit me so much harder than I've expected it to. I watched so much true crime, so much dark shit.
Yeah.
But this case got me, and I really don't know why. Deep in my psyche, it hit me hard, and I guess we'll see why. Strongsville is one of those suburbs. Big houses, good schools, predictable routines. People grow up there expecting futures, and for some of the teenagers in the story, that seemed true. One of them was Mackenzie Shirilla. Born August 2nd, 2004. By all public accounts, she grew up in a stable, middle-class household with supporting parents. No obvious signs of chaos from the outside. But as she got older, she became increasingly focused on her image, social media, clothing, and documenting her life. Like a lot of teenagers, online identity became important. Friends later described somebody very concerned with her appearance, status, and how she was perceived. Some peers described her as intimidating and a bully. Others described her as controlling. There were allegations she maintained a list on her phone cataloging people she disliked, called her bitch list. Mackenzie believed she was that girl, the Regina George type, a mean girl. And eventually, one relationship became central to her life, Dominic Russo.
I didn't know she had a bitch list.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, maybe they said that, but I don't remember that at all.
I don't think they covered it.
I don't think so.
Documentary.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like the documentary made her out to be like a good person until the very end when she fucked it up herself. They shouldn't even had her talk.
I think,
She's
I
an
don't
idiot.
know. They obviously have a viewpoint or a way they want the audience to view the case.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't figure out what their goal was based off of what I see.
Essentially, I think it was like, figure it out for yourself. Here's one side, here's the other side. But I also think like, I would say like 70% of that documentary like made it seem like she wasn't in the wrong. Or not even not in the wrong, but just like not as bad of a person as like she essentially was made out to be.
I don't think she understands how unlikable she seems.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just wanted to punch her straight in the face.
I really don't. We had social media, obviously, when we were kids. And I can't even... Nowadays, the way the kids treat social media is like everything.
Yeah.
Us, it was like, okay, we brought our digital camera to the club and we had to go home and upload what we wanted. There was like no editing, no photoshopping, no setting a true narrative. And nowadays it's like kids literally document from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. And that is 100% the downfall of Mackenzie Shirilla. And
because she basically blew herself in because of that.
Over and over again. But yeah, that little bitch list, it had 48 names on it.
Of just people she just disliked. How do you, don't you just remember if you dislike somebody? Why do you need to keep a list
apparently
of it?
She was super fickle, and the smallest thing would set her off. It included women, men, girls, boys, teachers, a lot of people. Like, it didn't...
Put Mr. Smith in here because he fucking gave me a D on my test.
Yeah. Like, Dominic's story feels very different. He grew up in a large family. He had 7 siblings. People who knew him consistently described him as someone quieter, loyal, easygoing. He played basketball, he wanted to create his own clothing brand, and he made music. He also looked into stock trading. One of those teenagers who seemed interested in trying everything. Mackenzie and Dominic began dating when she was around 13 and he was 16. And over the next 4 years, their relationship became deeply intertwined. And according to testimony, deeply unstable. Accounts later presented in court described explosive arguments, breakups, reconciliations. Stories of Dominic needing help getting distance after fight. Witnesses described patterns of manipulation and threat. By 2021, Mackenzie had repeatedly spent time living with Dominic. And despite all of it, they stayed together, breaking up multiple times only to come together again.
It definitely seemed like a very toxic relationship and a very young one at that. And I think we all have had not exactly that type of relationship, but similar ones where you're so infatuated with somebody that it becomes toxic, but every waking moment with somebody, and you're not mature enough to realize that that's essentially not a good thing.
Yeah, at
that age, yes, especially like you're growing, trying to figure yourself out, and you're giving more control over your life because you're with them so much that they're having an influence on you as a person. And because of that age, you're so influenceable at that age that you really become very intertwined with somebody.
Yeah.
Like when you spend that much time with them.
It's very clear that it was one-sided. And I don't want to say it was one-sided in a way that like Dominic didn't love her or didn't want to be a part of her life.
I think he really liked being with her like as a friend, but like I think that like I feel like they got along well and he liked having someone around all the time and that type of thing. But I also think he knew where to draw the line with that. Yeah. And she didn't.
No.
So like he wanted to be like alone, like I want to go home and like chill.
He wanted to spend time with his friend Blair. And it was talked about often. I don't know if it was in the documentary, but it was throughout like their thousands of files of text messages where he wanted to hang out with his friend Blair, and she would like make comments regarding his sexuality because he wanted to spend time with his bros.
Oh, Blair was a boy.
Yes. Blair
okay.
was a
I don't
boy.
think that it said anything.
No.
It might. Again, it might have. I didn't remember every single detail.
Yeah, it was. But she just seems like a toxic personality.
Yeah, because your friend.
relationship she had with him.
Yeah, like she wasn't the center of attention. Like you were a piece of shit to her, basically.
Exactly.
Like if you didn't worship her, you were a piece of shit.
Exactly. And a lot of people do question the fact that they got together when she was only 13 and he was 16. That doesn't bother me so much.
She probably like was that type. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel like she was that type of person. Like she was looking for an older man.
She was probably pursuing him.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't really bat an eye at it, especially in high school at 13 years old and 16 years old. I wouldn't explicitly say that your relationship is serious enough for it to really cause alarms. But Dominic seems like he was, by all circumstances, a decent boy. And I think a lot of people wish they could have grown up in a household where they had 7 siblings and their parents around and like big family gatherings. It wasn't explicitly stated, but I definitely feel like Dominic is Italian.
Oh yeah, he looks Italian.
Yeah, like the way their family functions and coordinates together and the way they talk, just they strike me as a good Italian family.
Yeah.
Now that we've talked about Dominic and Mackenzie, we're going to talk about Davion. Davion's story hits differently. Davion was the oldest of 3 siblings. His biological parents struggled with substance abuse, and when he was 8 years old, he and his sisters were adopted together. By all accounts, that adoption changed his life. His family described him as warm, protective, and driven. He became a football player and a swim coach. And after an ACL injury, he shifted his plans for his future. He found something new: barbering. He started practicing on friends, experimenting and building skills, applying to a barber school. He wanted his own shop someday. People remembered him as somebody who made people feel included. And eventually, connecting over sports and music, he became close friends with Dominic. And by extension, part of Dominic and Mackenzie's social circle. July 2022, graduation happened. Summer had started. Nobody knew. Time was already running out. Davion's story hurts me.
Dude, it really, really does. And I feel like this whole documentary that I watched with the crash that everybody's probably going to know this story from, they like did not put him in enough at all. Like everything was focused on Mackenzie and Dominic and like maybe a blurb of Davion. And it's like, why?
Well, I want to make it my goal to talk about Davion because I don't know if it's his name. I have a nephew who has the same name. It's a very original name. You don't hear very many people name that.
Yep.
And he is the same age. He's a teenager. He's growing up. And I'm sure he's come into circumstances like this where he would get into a car with friends not knowing that something like this could happen. Like Davion, in this case scenario, he should not have even been in the car. It wasn't like he was...
It was like an accident because he was supposed to leave. He wasn't even supposed to go with somebody else. Yes. Oh my gosh.
We will get into the reason why it's believed he got into the car with Mackenzie and Dominic, but either way, he by all accounts sounds like he was a really good kid. I mean, he took the life that he was given from birth and was given a new lease in life by what seems like really great parents.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the documentary, you can see his sister, and she thinks nothing but the best, oh my gosh, he is everything to her.
Yeah, she definitely came after Mackenzie.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she went after her. And she's also very young. I mean, what is she, like 14? It makes me super sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's also the fact that I have a son and just like the thought of him growing up and going out into the world and doing what teenagers do. And the fact that even if he does everything correctly, even if he does not do drugs and not
he's not the one drinking and driving or doing whatever and driving.
Even if that is the case, he can still get into the vehicle with the wrong person.
Because this obviously wasn't the first time that he got into the vehicle with her.
No,
but
obviously.
It was the last.
By late July of 2022, high school was over. That strange period had started, the stretch between adolescence and whatever comes next. On July 30th into the early hours of July 31st, that's exactly what this group was doing. A graduation gathering hosted by a friend, Vajara. Accounts later described it as relaxed. Not some huge movie-style house party, people hanging out around outside, talking, playing games, sitting around a fire. Before arriving, Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion had already spent some time together. According to reporting, they had been hanging out at Dom's place smoking pot earlier that evening. By around 10:30 p.m., they arrive at the graduation party. The group stayed a few hours. Feeling underwhelmed with their party experience, they moved on to Paul's house to continue hanging out. More music, talking, and smoking. There were later mentions that mushrooms had been discussed, though reporting generally indicates that there is no evidence they were actually taken. Hours had passed. People drifted in and out of sleep while watching South Park. Nothing in witness accounts suggested anything dramatic happened. No screaming, no visible arguments, no major confrontation. Eventually, around 5:30 in the morning, Mackenzie and Dominic decided to leave. Davion had originally planned to catch a ride with his friend Bubba and help him work on his truck later that morning, but changed his mind, deciding to go back to Dom's instead, whose house he was staying at while his parents were away on vacation. He wanted to go and get some sleep, take a shower, and reset. So he got into Mackenzie's car. 3 teenagers driving home, and according to everyone involved, that should have been how the night ended. This mention of mushroom really kind of irks me, because it's always stated like, oh, they didn't take the mushrooms, and I don't know why they say that. I think the one reason they do is because they found mushrooms on like their person at the scene of the crash.
Yeah.
And then they did a toxicology report, obviously, on Dominic and Davion. They didn't see traces of psilocybin mushrooms. And then they obviously did one on Mackenzie as well. None of them showed signs of using these mushrooms.
Right.
But what I question is, when was this toxicology done? Because by that point, mushrooms could have been out of their system. It's usually like a 24-hour type of thing. It's not. I looked into it, and it's not generally found for long periods of time.
Well, I think Mackenzie's would have been done right away, because she usually right when you get to the hospital, like I'm sure that they took her blood alcohol, blood work, because they might have thought she was drinking and driving, and that's usually the reason that
I would
they
imagine
would take the blood.
But what I question is, so they went to Paul's house, like they arrived at the first party at 10:30. They only stayed for a couple hours, so let's say 11 o'clock. It said that the reason why they left is because Vajara's parents were there, and she didn't feel comfortable with them doing the mushrooms there, so they had gone to Paul's house to do said mushrooms.
Well, so it would have been later than that. If they got there like 10:30 and they stayed a couple of hours.
Okay, so what? Like, let's say they left at midnight. They do the mushrooms at midnight the second they get to Paul's house, and they leave at 5:30 in the morning.
About 5 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely would have probably not been on, like, feeling the effects after 5 hours, I would think.
That's what I'm saying. But would it show up in the toxicology then? I really don't know.
I'm not sure how long you can find that, but I would assume. And after a certain period of time, when they realized that it could be an intentional thing, they might have done a hair follicle test too.
Okay, yeah.
So that would definitely show
there.
something. And I think after the extensive amount of everything that was going on with this
But
like,
at the
case,
same time, if they did do a hair follicle test on her, that doesn't say that she was doing the mushrooms at the time of the crash. It would mean that she had used mushrooms within...
At some point, yeah.
And it's very clear that Mackenzie had taken part in doing drugs.
Yeah.
I
guess it's hard to say, but I would assume they would know. Like, if they said she wasn't, if there was any inkling that she was, I'm sure they would have easily thrown that out there to throw her under the bus, because they would have helped, I'm sure.
I'm sure, but it still makes me question. I'm not saying like, oh, that's the reason for the crash, but to discredit the fact that they've done the mushrooms is kind of weird to me.
I think they were looking for any reason. And again, like, if that was possibly a reason, they wouldn't have discredited at all, because I really think they wanted a reason.
Yes, they did.
Wanted a reason to why this happened.
I think maybe I'm trying to rationalize this happening, and I was like, okay, yeah, doing psychotropic mushrooms and driving your vehicle, like, yeah, that's crazy, and that would cause you to fucking drive into a wall. It's very cool.
That's why this case is so bizarre, though.
Progress Drive, Strongsville, Ohio. Not some dangerous highway, not a winding back road. It's a commercial area with industrial businesses lining its street. Empty early in the morning. At 5:34 a.m., surveillance footage captured a Toyota taking a turn onto Progress Drive. Nothing unusual, no visible panic, even signaling upon turning. 1 minute later, another camera. The vehicle appeared moving at an extremely high rate of speed, only in the frame for less than a second. Then, a sound that can only be described as an explosion. Investigators would later reconstruct what happened. The Toyota struck a brick building. The force was catastrophic. Approximately 45 minutes later, a passerby called 911. The caller described a vehicle that was barely recognizable. Emergency crews arrived. Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan were found dead at the scene. Dominic Russo, only 20 years old. Davion Flanagan, 19 years old. Only Mackenzie survived, but was severely injured and trapped inside the wreckage. She was found crumpled under the dashboard with her foot still wedged on the gas pedal. First responders used extraction tools to remove her. She was airlifted to the hospital. Inside that vehicle, investigators recovered marijuana, drug paraphernalia including a scale, psilocybin mushrooms. At first, the assumption seemed straightforward. Teenagers, substances, speed, explanation, a tragic accident. Case closed. The families of the victims, Dominic and Davion, were notified. Upon hearing of her son's passing, Christina Russo was inconsolable. Screaming in agony, she asks, "What did she do?"
Last night.
Wait.
Just relax. Just hold on. Just stay seated. Just stay seated. Just hold on. Just listen.
Yes,
Listen.
take a deep breath.
Christine, look at me. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, just take
Take a deep breath. Okay. Right now, all we know is that the driver, who was Mackenzie, is at Metro.
Right.
Okay.
So
Hold on.
Yeah,
Just stay seated, please. The other two passengers, like I said, was Davion and who we believe is Dominic. Okay. From what Mackenzie told us.
Okay.
Okay. Both Davion and Dominic are deceased.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Christine.
Oh God!
Sit down.
Oh God! I'm
Just sit down.
Oh my God!
Krista's gonna come outside.
No! Oh my God!
No. Just
Christine, please.
No! He can't see. What did she do?
Christine.
What did she
It
do?
would be best.
Oh my God!
Did you watch the footage?
I don't remember everything, but I don't remember
You
her
would have remembered
screaming that. My
You would
goodness.
have. But the footage
But no.
that they
Ugh.
captured of Dominic's mother, I felt my soul leave my body.
Dude.
It was like hereditary when the mother is like screaming like in agony like on the floor. It was bad. She was like trying to run away from the cops, just like did not know what to do with herself.
I feel like I would be the same way.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I don't know what I would do either.
No.
I really don't. I would probably
don't even
just,
want to think about
collapse. I know.
But it's actually insane. Like I don't know how she didn't die with this crash. I don't understand
Okay.
how she possibly did not die.
That is a perfect question because I had looked into this.
Okay, I know the way that it hit the building. Like they hit that side of the car, like right on the corner of the building. But the speed, I seen the video of the speed. I heard
It was
it.
like-
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you see it
Mind-blowing.
and you're instantly like, those people are dead.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know how she survived that. And I don't think she had any intention of surviving that.
I didn't even like, obviously I thought if she had intended on surviving it, but I don't.
Not at that speed. And like the balls. I might spoil this, but they looked at that black box. She didn't touch them brakes one
No.
time.
Mm-mm.
And that is also mind blowing. Like I could never, I would be so chicken shit.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
how
she's
anybody
obviously
would do that.
psychotic.
She is crazy.
Let's just start there.
Well, I
But-
did look into why in so many cases, like, is that the case that the driver ends up surviving when the passengers don't? And the first
Maybe it's a
explanation
thing.
is because in a vehicle, you have the steering wheel column like barricading you from impact. So
so it's a
you
little
might
extra
initially
help.
think like, oh, that's a thing that would hit you and hurt you worse. But it actually, in a case like that, going head-on collision, it creates a barrier. Whereas your passenger has nothing in front of them. They literally just go forward. In the back seat, I questioned like, oh, they have two barriers in front of them. They
The
have a
two
whole other
seats.
person.
Yeah.
I question, was he in the middle of the seat?
So I don't know where they were all still inside the car.
Yes.
So none of them got thrown out of
No,
the car.
no, they did not.
So normally, and this is just me,
They get thrown out of the car.
well, normally in the back seat, they don't buckle. Like,
No.
especially a teenager, like he doesn't give a shit to buckle up. I know he didn't buckle up. Or depending on how quickly this happened, maybe he did have a chance to buckle up. I mean, we can dive into that a little
No.
more.
Okay,
But-
so it's actually said that the only person who was wearing a seatbelt was Mackenzie. And the reason
Okay,
why
so-
this is so insane is because she documents her life on a day-to-day basis, driving in her vehicle, and she never has her seatbelt on.
Oh,
And if she
see?
does, it is like behind her
Okay.
and just strapped around her waist. She doesn't
So
wear it
she
correctly.
knew. So
That's
she might have had an intention of surviving.
that's what makes me think maybe
But
she
at the
did.
same time, like, she's a fucking
If
idiot
you
though.
also
Like,
look
wha-
at the vehicle and where it actually crashed, it was specifically
on their side.
on their
yes,
side.
like it was like the corner.
Mhm.
But going that speed, how can you control that car
I really
at
don't
all? Like, unless
Ooh.
she drove this way and like purposely chose this area, this straightaway, this neighborhood.
She did.
See, I didn't know that.
She
But
did.
that was the only thing that would make an excellent. Makes
Reports
sense.
that she went to this location, like her cell phone
So she
data
planned
tracked her to go to this location.
But why bring Davion into this? Like, I
He-
mean, I'm sorry, Dominic,
what I
but like,
believe is that
what the
he
fuck?
was. We will get into my speculation at the very end of this because there is a
Just
lot more
terrible.
exposition to even get into here. For days, Mackenzie remained hospitalized and eventually she regained consciousness. She was informed that Dominic and Davion were dead. According to medical documentation discussed publicly, she appeared upset. But as time passed, investigators began noticing details that drew attention. Her social media activity. She uploaded standard "get ready with me" style clips and pictures showing the interior of her medical ward while wearing her hospital gown and neck brace. Things that some observers interpreted as unusual for someone grieving. Those interpretations later became highly public. Meanwhile, detectives visited her and told her directly they were investigating the crash as an aggravated vehicular homicide. According to testimony later discussed in court, during that interaction, a conversation was recorded between Mackenzie and her mother, Natalie. This conversation was not understood at the time due to the family speaking in an unnatural language. This language was later confirmed by Steve Shirilla, Mackenzie's father, as being carny talk. It was translated, and what was said only confirmed their suspicions. Mackenzie explicitly asked her mother, "Can we tell the police I had a seizure? Can we tell the police something like that?"
Know if anybody's pressing charges?
If anybody presses charges, it's the county. It's not the families. Okay, the
What is your-
the state chooses
Why?
whether or not they want to charge with. Not the people. This is not a civil. We're dealing with a criminal aspect of this. If there's
Can I
a
say something to her real quick?
yes.
You can.
By this point, the investigation had changed from what caused the crash to was there intent, and if so, how do we prove it? I can't imagine being so self-absorbed that you were literally just told that your boyfriend and your friend are dead by your own hand and wanting to post social media pictures of yourself.
yeah, in your hospital gown.
Yeah.
Like, feel bad for me.
I
Feel sorry for me. Carney talk? What the fuck?
okay.
What the fuck is that?
So initially, everybody talking about this carny talk, like the question was, oh, are they speaking like a form of pig Latin? Is it like some type of coded
I need
language?
to hear this conversation.
Oh, well, I will plug this absolutely in the
Yeah.
episode. What I found extremely interesting about this is that there were like later conversations, like prison phone calls that Mackenzie had with her mother. And they were talking about how they were some type of gypsy. And that kind of integrates with this carny talk because
Mm-hmm.
carnies are typically like transient lifestyle people,
Yes.
as are gypsies. Also, after Dominic's death, she had posted videos of her using like a pendulum, which is like you hold the pendulum in your hand, and it's like a form of like Ouija board, where you would ask it questions and it would move to either yes or no, or it would spin in loops or whatever like that.
Okay, Dom, are you here? Look, I'm not moving my arm. That's a yes. Do you have a message for Kenzie? L. O. V. Love.
It makes me almost question if there is some type of like occult implications of this crime.
Yeah, because she was trying to contact him. Like, I watched the video, and she was with his father, with Dominic's father, trying to contact him, and that he supposedly, allegedly told her like that it was okay and that he was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that bullshit for one fucking second, but I question the science of pendulums, and I'm not like here to whatever. I'm just a skeptical person by nature. And a lot of times the movements are done subconsciously. The same thing with like dowsing rods. The same thing with a lot of Ouija boards. People that use Ouija boards, it's done subconsciously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could very well believe it. You could believe that the subconscious is like connected to the spiritual realm. I really don't know.
If that's her, like, I don't want to say religion, but if that's her culture, the gypsy in her, then that may very well be why she's trying to contact him. But that could also be, like you said, some sort of occult thing.
I think she wanted something from him, and she always wanted something from him.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe this was some type of like sacrifice of him, or
voodoo on her. I mean, I personally don't believe that, but she has told people that she's put a spell on him so that he couldn't break up with her. And she would tell people that she had like grabbed a piece of his hair and that she had a doll in her room for Dom. And that she'd literally put a spell on him is what she would tell everyone. And like she truly believed in that kind of stuff. And she also uses the pendulum, I know, to try to get answers. She tries to use it now to talk to Dom.
I don't know. This is getting like real tinfoily hat, but but it really made me question, because I mean, this talk is very strange, and the fact that she talked to her mother and they were talking about living some type of like gypsy lifestyle.
Her mother is not like encouraging her to take accountability for this, and she is enabling the fuck out of this weird shit that she's trying to do. Like, they're all just nuts.
There is something severely wrong with the parents in this case.
Yes. Her dad, dude.
The level of permissiveness that they grant Mackenzie, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, just zero accountability. Like, they're trying to make excuses for it and just making it seem like it wasn't bad, like it wasn't bad at all. And she's not like this, and like just trying to make it seem like she didn't do it on purpose, and just all the bullshit. I mean, there's so much more.
It's very, very clear that the reason why Mackenzie felt she was entitled to take these two people's lives was because of the way she was raised. She felt entitled to absolutely everything she was given, every form of treatment she ever received, because her parents never told her no. And if they did not follow through. For 4 months, Mackenzie went on living her life, posting absolutely everything. But some posts raised eyebrows. In particular, Shirilla participated in a viral TikTok trend where she filmed herself lip-syncing and dancing to a Marina song lyric. Crucially, the video featured a specific lyric, "I'm the type of girl you die for." Meanwhile, her boyfriend had just died at her own hand.
Yeah, so she's like blown herself in, but I think she thought she was gonna get off. Like, she really thought.
She thought she was that bitch.
Yeah,
she really did.
Like, she really did.
But to explicitly say, "I'm the girl you die for," where your boyfriend literally just died at your hand.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. And she's sick in the head.
Well, that's not the only thing. In another highly scrutinized TikTok, Shirilla looked directly into the camera And while a dubbed audio said, "I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die."
And do a lot of drugs and not die.
They shocked everyone who had witnessed the video, citing the recovered drugs from the vehicle after the crash. Halloween, just 3 months following the crash, she posted a video of her and 2 other friends in a very similar costume, where they were dressed up with blacked out eyes and a red painted smile. People claimed it was in poor taste to dress up like a corpse following the death of 2 young men. She even attended a Kid Cudi concert while in her wheelchair.
Dude, this girl.
Again, I don't think she realizes how fucking unlikable she is.
She is so dumb. She's genuinely just like unintelligent.
Yeah.
Completely with dressing up as a corpse.
I might give slightly more grace on that. I question going out on Halloween 3 months after something like this happened. Like, I would probably be staring at a black room at the wall.
Yeah, me too. I would have locked myself in my house.
Fucking year. So I'm not questioning the fact that she dressed up for Halloween as something spooky. I mean, whatever. That's what fucking Halloween is for.
She wants the attention though too.
Absolutely.
So like, I think maybe it has something to do with that. Like, she just wants the attention, so she doesn't care that she's posting
some type of rap artist, and I don't Playboy somebody
Cardi.
Playboy Cardi. Okay,
Okay.
So you know.
Yeah.
I don't know this man.
Yeah.
Is it a man?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I'll give her grace on that then, because if it's not,
but still,
she wasn't trying to dress up as a corpse. It
3
was
months
just
after though,
a rapper.
I'm questioning the fact that she's even out partying, having a grand old fucking time. Raise your babies right. That's all I gotta say. I can't keep facing these cases. By November 2022, the investigation had reached a point that shocked people. Mackenzie Shirilla, the sole survivor of the crash, was arrested. And not for reckless driving, not for negligence. She was charged with 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of drug possession, and 1 count of possessing criminal tools. And that last one was because there was a scale. And that changed the conversation entirely, because proving somebody caused a fatal crash and proving somebody intended a fatal crash are 2 totally different things. And prosecutors believed that they could prove intent.
I think so too.
I'm surprised they even waited so long to fucking arrest her.
Yeah, me too. All they had to do was take her phone for a day, and you could see the intent in that.
The dump they got from her phone.
Dude.
Like, you know how dumb she is?
I do.
Well, yeah. But she was even like purchasing fake IDs online. Like, had her full name, her full address. Not like, let's not send it to like a P.O. box or give a fake address or put a fake name on it for your dumb bitch.
Dumb bitch.
The second the question of like, was this a medical accident, entered the conversation, things got super muddy. And I think that's why they hesitated to arrest her.
Yeah, because I guess at that point, they really didn't have all the pieces, obviously.
No.
They didn't know what the... I mean, granted, she was diagnosed with POTS, right?
Yes.
I do know that. But at the same time, you know, like, that doesn't cause you to crash. It causes you to faint and black out.
Yes.
And that's not what happened.
Yeah.
So don't even try to use that, dude.
My question is, even if she wanted to argue that, I think anybody with like the smallest little brain cell would be like, all right, I'm blacking out, I'm fainting, and I'm behind the wheel. Wouldn't your entire body like go limp?
Yeah.
It's not going to exert force on the gas
accelerate.
pedal.
Yes.
Like, how?
We didn't go over that yet, but yes.
No, we are going to talk about that.
That was ridiculous.
While incarcerated, awaiting her trial, some extremely questionable phone calls were made between Mackenzie and her mother. Again, this carny talk was used. Basically, Mackenzie was complaining about not having an iPad, gossiping about people she doesn't like, and the condition she was living in. The hours of recorded calls also highlighted collaborative efforts between Shirilla and her mother to try and manage and control the public narrative surrounding the fatal high-speed crash, often attempting to coordinate Free Mackenzie campaigns, speaking about how wide-reaching the story was. At one point, Mackenzie even stated maybe Kim Kardashian would take her case. August 14th, 2023, the trial began. Mackenzie and her legal team made a very unusual decision. They waived the right to a jury trial and would instead have a bench trial, meaning there would be no 12-person deliberation, no jury room. One person would decide, Judge Nancy Margaret Russo. no connection to Dominic.
I would never do that because if she did go to trial, if even one person
Questioned it,
she might have had some charges, but nothing like with a bench trial.
Well, I mean, one person questions it and the whole thing just has to keep going, you know?
Yes. But the conversations between her and her mother, the stuff that she was talking about was probably just a mundane thing. And being a teenager at her age, 17 years old, she genuinely, I do not think, grasp how serious like what she did was. Like, she knew what she did.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that she killed somebody, but she doesn't really have a conscience, it doesn't seem. But I really genuinely don't think that because of like how unintelligent she is, she grasped, like, she's going to be in there for the rest of her life.
I don't think
she didn't grasp
I still
that.
don't think she grasped that to this day.
No, I don't think
like,
so.
She's so entitled. She believes that she's doesn't even deserve to be there.
An intelligent, like, she's just not the bright at all.
Totally understandable for a 17-year-old to be fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But her parents, do they not? Her father is a teacher. Granted, he's an art teacher, but like, you know, he's not.
He was a strange individual.
He was a very strange man. Oh, did you hear the weird stuff about the asking for milk in the middle of the night thing? I didn't even dive into that, and I really wish I did.
Her and her dad?
Father, yeah.
Yeah, and then they were starting to talk about SA and all this weird shit.
If y'all know something about this asking for milk text, please tell us about it. Mention it in the comments because I need to know.
I don't want to know, but we need to know.
Well, I don't want to know any of this.
I know.
Like, I feel like I need to know.
I forgot about that. So weird.
That just came to my brain.
They just kind of grazed over that, and it's like, okay, let's go back. Hold on.
Why would you think you would be better off just having one person decide your fate?
Yeah, right.
Did she like think
I would not do that at all?
She could like manipulate just one person, or it'd be easier for them to manipulate one person over 12, or what?
Maybe they thought that the judge would give her some grace, and I don't know.
Well, what is her legal counsel even thinking? Like,
yeah,
I'm sure she doesn't just have a public defender. I think she probably has like a legitimate lawyer.
I think that was a very poor decision, but you know, good because she's in jail now. So.
Her parents are the problem all over the place. Her parents are 100% the problem. The prosecution's theory was direct. The crash was intentional. They argued Mackenzie deliberately drove into that building, and they started with the data. Security footage, vehicle telemetry, commonly referred to as the black box, crash reconstruction, and according to the evidence presented, the Toyota accelerated rapidly before impact. The prosecution argued that there was no braking, no steering correction, no attempt to stop, and one of the most discussed details, the transmission movement. According to the prosecutors, the vehicle shifted briefly into neutral and then back into drive while accelerating.
So that makes me think Dominic was like no, or Davion was like no, and like tried to stop. Dude, oh, my heart is like
that
breaking.
Is initially how I took that. Now let me tell you why I think she did this on purpose. When your foot is fully on the gas and you shift your vehicle into neutral, and when you place it back into drive, it causes the engine to rev. And while it's revving, it gives you a boost of speed. It's like that shift between like when you would in like a manual stick shift.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like a super fast increased boost of speed.
Did she do it right before the impact, or like?
It doesn't say when it happened, but I would imagine it did happen right before the impact or while she was trying to gain speed. I swear to God,
I don't know if she's smart enough. Honestly,
no, this is what I think.
I don't know.
And I don't know why her search history is not talked about at all.
Oh, okay. So this might be... Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. It's not talked about at all. Nobody talks about her search history. They talk about her text messages. They talk about her social media impact. They talk about her Snapchat. They talk about all that. But nobody explicitly looks into her search history. And I guarantee you, if they were to look into it, they would find, how do I make my car go faster? And I
don't know.
You, they would find something like that.
You think she's smart enough to do that?
To Google?
No, but to do it in general.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was a fucking race car driver. She even has like the I go fast like NASCAR. Like she says that shit all the time. Yeah.
Bro.
Either way, she
no,
drove
I don't know.
fucking
I don't know.
crazy.
I want to. I'd like to think that it was one of them trying to save themselves, trying to do something to. And why didn't one of them like grab the wheel or something? Like they said that the wheel didn't move. So like, why didn't one of them like hold the, like I would have fucking bashed her head against the window.
I don't know.
like I don't know. I would have like been fighting for my life at that point.
That makes me question it even more because like, okay, if he did shift it into neutral, let's say they were trying to save their own
Maybe
lives.
they were like arguing about it and was like, no, dude, stop. And like was like fucking with it. Like
you cranked the wheel.
I don't, maybe he was trying to throw it in it, like fuck up. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. No one will ever know.
I mean, I definitely, there's no way
think.
you would be sitting in the car while this is happening and you're just.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You would have to be trying to save your own.
I would open the door and try to like get out. Like I would have done something. Like
maybe
there's no way I wouldn't have just. I would
sleep. I don't know. There's way too many questions here, and I mean,
way too many.
I think the obvious answer is that she did this intentionally. Why it was so fatal is the bigger question.
Yeah, well, I mean, going 100 miles an hour under a brick wall.
Yeah.
In the corner of a brick wall because she intentionally did that.
Yeah, made it on Dominic's side.
Yes.
The prosecution's argument was this was intentional input. Not somebody blacking out, not somebody losing consciousness. They started building contact. This is not the only occasion where Mackenzie was reckless behind the wheel. She often documented herself driving recklessly, getting into other accidents, often smoking pot while operating her vehicle, and traveling at high rates of speed on the highway. She also got into other altercations with other drivers. Many of her friends and acquaintances often noted how awful of a driver she was. One even claimed they refused to ride in the car with her out of fear. They introduced testimony regarding Mackenzie and Dominic's relationship. Text message evidence was introduced, alleging previous threats connected to driving, one incident that became especially important. Weeks before the crash, Dominic had reportedly called his mother for help after becoming frightened during an argument while Mackenzie was driving. Prosecutors argued this established a pattern. Defense attorneys pushed back because their position was simple. No intent, no murder, just tragedy. I want to know what her license looks like how many strikes she has on it.
Yeah,
how does she still have a fucking license?
I feel like that is easily intent. And they had the call. Didn't they have that call recorded of
between her and Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you argue that? She clearly has a history of driving erratically.
Like, it was just an idle threat.
It's hard to argue that.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously did, but it's hard to say that that's not something she did all the time. That
my thing was like they never refuted any of their claim. They never were like, no, that didn't happen. Here's proof this didn't happen. They were just like, oh, I have pots.
They didn't refute the claims, but I also think that they just like tried to make other claims. Like you just, with the pots thing, but also just like you just said, like it was an idle threat. Or like just stupid refuting.
My thing is like there was never any refuting. It was that like, oh, it was an idle threat was never said.
So they're just like, well, she did do it, but it's okay because it wasn't any serious.
They think it's they think it's just a medical accident. But I still want to like look into what her license like. Does she have points on it? Does she have moving violations? Does she have traffic?
Previous tickets?
Yeah, like she has to have something on it that would be like, okay, why do you still have a driver's license? So she got into an altercation with another driver. She was tailgating them. The guy got mad. He like swerved in front of her, got out of the car and started berating her. And she ended up calling the police and was like, oh, I'm so scared. Like this man, he got out of his car and was yelling at me. He's blocking me. I can't get into my driveway. I'm scared. And even went to the fucking police department.
After she just was tailgating the fuck out of him and then tried to act like she was the victim.
Video footage, but she did not video record herself tailgating this man.
Oh, okay. Well, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get a good dash cam. You gotta get a good dash cam.
This like relationship between her and Dom, like you said, there were these threats made previous to this happening, but she often would like berate and belittle him. Like she would call him like a little bitch and stuff. Like it's disgusting. I really don't know why he would stay.
I think it was just because she was constantly like threatening him.
Okay.
Like, I think he was scared.
That was
because
my thought.
she didn't make idle threats. She fucking clearly followed up with them, and a lot of them. And just the continued like harassment. There was a argument then.
He had another phone and he was recording
Okay.
her on the phone.
That's what it was, because I couldn't make sense of it.
She was berating him, like,
Yeah,
saying,
like, I'm not leaving until you open this fucking door. Open this fucking door. I'll be here all night.
I live here. He's like, but you broke up with me. Like, you don't live here. Like,
yeah, like,
you
I have
took
to
your
leave.
shit
I gotta
and
go.
left.
Wasn't he like, I have to go somewhere? Like, I need to leave.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's another thing. So, like, he locked her out, and she's standing at his door, fucking
Like,
pounding
not
on the
leaving,
door,
yeah.
not leaving, and fucking like berating him and harassing him. And I mean, she just seems like that. So it was more probably like as like a mellow, like nonchalant kind of guy. Like, he was just like, fine.
Yeah, he didn't
like, he'll
want
just give her what she wants because
he
didn't want. Yeah, exactly.
You broke up with me earlier.
Because you are a little fucking weak bitch.
You broke up with me earlier. You literally broke up with me earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
You literally broke up with me earlier. Like what is the point you're trying to, like, you broke up with me, like, earlier. Like, what point
No,
I didn't.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said we're not together.
I didn't.
You literally said that shit. Like, you really broke up with me earlier. Like, what are you trying to make? Like, why would I just let you in my house if you break up with me? You're threatening to break my shit. Like, you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break the doors.
I will key your car
like,
if you do not let me in the house.
You're gonna key my car if I don't.
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
I do think maybe he was scared to end this relationship, though, because he knew she would react poorly. I mean, maybe he didn't think it would be fatal, but he thought, oh, she's gonna key my car, she's gonna break my windows.
This whole thing is so crazy because, like, there wasn't even an argument before this happened.
No. Mackenzie had a type of relationship where the smallest thing would set her off and she would go from 0 to 100 in less than a second.
Yeah.
So a lot of people speculate that the reason why she ended up crashing the car that night was because they had gotten into an argument on the ride home. She didn't.
Well, that would make sense.
She didn't care that Davion was in the car.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm pissed off at you.
And she didn't really know him, right? Like, was that part of it? Like, she didn't really know Davion. So again, she didn't like.
They were friends. He was a newer friend, but they were definitely still friends. And I don't think that even if you knew him for a second, you still do not have the right to take his life.
No, I know. But the way that she is as a person, like, if she didn't care in any sort of fucking way about him, like, he was basically like,
yeah, he was an accessory to her fucking murder. Like,
Yeah.
he was not intended to die at all. He was nonetheless. The defense argued that Mackenzie suffered from a medical condition called POT, a condition affecting regulation of the heart rate and blood pressure. Symptoms can include dizziness, fainting, and brain fog. They argued she may have experienced one of these medical events, that she lost consciousness. That explained the lack of braking and the memory loss she suffered. But there was a problem. Formal medical documentation supporting the defense's theory was limited in what was presented. And without clear evidence of the medical condition, the judge had to weigh one question. Which explanation fits the evidence better, intention or a medical emergency? The fact that they even tried to argue this without even like getting a doctor's note.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, I got this condition. Nothing at all.
Didn't get like a POTS expert.
No. Didn't call in anybody.
I could see if that genuinely was like a medical emergency, like blacking out, which who knows? I obviously I don't have POTS, but I've heard of it. And I don't know if it causes your body to like lock up at all if you have a seizure. If it locks up or when you black out, and like maybe that could possibly happen. I don't know, but I do not think so in this case. I mean, maybe in another case where it would make sense, but in this case, no.
Based off of like other people saying that they have this, how this illness or disease actually works, it tends to happen when you stand up.
Okay, because of the
your
blood pressure.
Yeah. If that was the case, is she standing in the vehicle?
Unless they were arguing and her blood pressure was rising because of it, that would be the like really, or drugs.
That would be a good explanation as to why her blood pressure would rise.
Yeah,
so
and causing a fainting episode or seizing or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know, but without that history, without us knowing, like,
but
how many times
it hard enough
how many
to
times
make
did
it
this
believable.
happen? How what does your doctor say about it? Have you seen a neurologist?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is your main defense, you didn't use it hard enough at all.
Shit.
You just said, well, she's got POTS.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, this is exactly what happened. This is why it happened. We were having an argument. After the fourth fuck you, my blood pressure raised to the roof. I don't remember what happened. I blacked out.
I was stoned. I was sick. Something.
Like, I mean, you could have fucking went on and on trying to cover your ass with a genuine medical fucking emergency and gotten witnesses in there and so on and so forth. But she didn't do any of that, which makes me believe they're too dumb. And B, that wasn't true.
Yeah.
So
I tend to lean towards she didn't have POTS. That's just what I believe. And I mean, I'm not a medical expert. It stated that she was having like fainting spells, and Mackenzie's mother had taken her to the doctor, and her doctor was like, oh, it could be this.
Okay, so it was like a self-diagnosed thing, pretty much? Because of some sort of evidence from her doctor, but they never diagnosed her with that?
Yeah, basically, she went to the doctor because she was passing out or fainting, and her doctor was like, oh, it could be this. And they took it from that and never like go deeper into it, never seen a specialist, never got it written on paper that she had this condition. So I'm assuming even if she was fainting, her doctor would just be like having fainting spells due to like malnutrition, not drinking enough water. And this girl, like, she was thin. Oh, and I'm not body shaming. Her bones were protruding. Like, she was very thin.
Yeah. So it could be,
maybe she
drugs,
did have some
malnutrition,
type of eating disorder or something like that would cause her to like faint or pass out. And I think her parents not believing that their daughter anything could be wrong with her to any degree, that they would go to the doctor and be like, oh, it has to be this, not my daughter has an eating disorder.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey.
I don't know. Maybe that's just my assumption, but I really don't think she had POTS at all. And I think that's why they didn't press hard enough on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that was your the truth, I would have hammered it into this judge's head. Like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And made it believable if that was the truth, which obviously it's not.
Literally, there was only one other person that said she had this medical condition, and it was a friend. Then came the victim impact statement. And if you ever watch sentencing hearings, you know this part changes the room. Davion's mother, Jamie Flanagan, spoke about the devastating void left by his death. She emphasized that Davion was a hard worker who was about to enter barber college, stating, so many dreams shattered, a future stolen. We will never get to see the amazing man he was surely to become. She shared how much his younger sisters lost, calling Davion their best friend and their protector. Amy specifically addressed Shirilla's behavior, stating, I pray daily for strength and perseverance for myself and for my family. I also pray that Mackenzie will find true remorse in her heart and true repentance. It is stated by every single person who came into contact with Davion that he was a really good dude, always looking for the best in people, making friends with everyone no matter what their stature was. He was driven and supportive, and I personally feel like he was stolen from the world.
My son Davion is and always will be so much more than cargo. He was precious. He was an amazing soul with a heart of gold. We will make sure your memory lives on, and we ache for the day that we are united again in eternity. Thank you.
Dominic's brother, Angelo Russo, said, you are a murderer. You should get the max. Contrast that to what you did to my brother. You did not even give him a chance. His family described years of watching a relationship they believe had become truly unhealthy. They spoke about fear and the warning signs.
I'm Christine Russo. I'm Dominic's mother. No one wanted this to be a murder or to punish Mackenzie Shirilla for this accident. But this was not a car accident. The evidence and science proved that Mackenzie Shirilla murdered my son, Dominic, as well as Davion. We all know what happened in that car that day. What we don't know is why. Social media has made a game out of the life of Mackenzie and is making a game out of this heart-wrenching tragedy. Mackenzie, going to prison because you did this. Be thankful that you're still alive and have a future, whatever that may be. Mackenzie showed no mercy on Dominic, nor did she on Davion. Only God at this time can have mercy on her soul. Thank you.
Like I said, this hurt me so bad.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's like domestic violence too, I feel like. emotional violence, and just she like weaponized their relationship, and his poor family had to like witness all of this.
Yeah.
And if that was your child or your loved one, I would have been so devastated because you really
If
did
I seen
see
it becoming that toxic.
Yeah.
And like it was stated, she did make threats. She made threats against his home.
I mean, he was
against
calling
his
his mother.
person.
Like,
yeah.
what 19-year-old calls his mommy? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, he
yes.
was that scared.
He was scared.
That, like, not to be like rude about it, but you know what I mean?
No.
Like, he was that scared that he called his mother.
Mhm.
Like, knowing he was like doing probably something he shouldn't be doing, like drugs or whatever, and he still wanted his mom because of the way that this person was like making him feel.
I feel like if this was my child and I don't want to be controlling or dictate their life or their relationship, especially at the age of 20 years old, but I'm fucking sorry, you cannot date her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. I don't care if you're star-crossed lovers. I will
tell her if it was my fault. It's all me. So she
Sorry.
doesn't like, bother you. But
no, fuck that.
Yeah, there's a certain point in time where you need to put your foot down as a parent, and
her parents never put her foot down.
Dude.
And
no, she's never been held accountable. This is the first time she's held accountable for something. And look how she's acting. Like she didn't fucking do anything wrong.
I don't even think this is her taking this isn't like her taking accountability to anything that happened. She still does not. She refutes it to this day. So I don't.
She wants Kim Kardashian to be her lawyer. Like that's how unaccountable she is. She never passed the bar. No.
Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, no.
I was wondering why she said that. I'm like, is Kim Kardashian a lawyer?
She did. Her father was too. Her father was the lawyer for OJ when this whole reform happened.
She doesn't know how to speak with any eloquence. She's just
I
just can't with the way they fucking talk. All of the Kardashians.
Like really?
No,
the Kardashians.
Oh God, I can't stand them. It's not talked about enough, Davion. And obviously Dominic was taken too. We've talked extensively about his relationship with Mackenzie and who he was as an individual. I mean, I wish there were more to know about these people without getting too personal and into their lives. But by all accounts, Davion was a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally every interview, every person spoken to about this case had not a single bad thing to say. And I think the only thing that could be questionable is a 17-year-old boy was smoking pot or a 19-year-old boy was smoking pot. And they do. What the fuck? They do.
You gotta like experiment at that age because FOMO and all that. But that doesn't make you a bad person.
Not at all.
And if he was still kind and he was still doing well in school and he just graduated and he had his whole life ahead of him.
Dude.
His whole life ahead. Like you are at that age, you are a baby.
Yeah.
Like I'm still young. Like we're still young, okay? We are.
I don't know.
But it's just like you don't even understand like half of the things you'll go through. Like you're gonna be a completely different person in 10 years, and you're not even gonna probably see these people anymore. And it's so sad.
This never happened. I wish they never met. I wish they never became friends. I know, like I just stay away from him.
And just all the stuff he already had to go through as a child because he was already adopted, and thankfully he was adopted with his sisters who.
Yes, that is very rare actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that they try really hard to keep families together.
Yeah.
But so often is that the case is not.
Yeah.
And at 8 years old, that is also very rare.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the family that adopted him had to have been really
devastated.
Good people. And yes,
they were
absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah.
Her statement was... I've definitely brought tears in my fucking eyes, I tell you what. I'm absolutely desensitized to so much. I eat, sleep, shit, fucking horror. And true crime. And this one got me. And I don't know why. Why did it get me?
Because Davion?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I think so. Because I texted him after I first got into this case, and I was like, I love you. If there's anything you ever need, I don't care if you're at a fucking party, I don't care if you're rolling face, I don't care. If you don't want to tell your mom, tell fucking me, please. Tell your auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't get in the car with crazy bitches.
Yeah, don't ride in the car. Just call me, please.
Leave the crazy bitches at home. Don't get in the car.
But he's such a good boy. He's got good friends.
And good family.
Natalie Shirilla gave a statement following Dominic and Davion's families. She began with a statement refuting the social media activity of Mackenzie, claiming she begged Mackenzie to go out on Halloween. and that the concert she had attended was in fact with Dominic's family. Then she continued to argue for leniency, maintaining the crash was just a tragic accident rather than an intentional act. She directly pleaded with the judge to look past the evidence, stating, "If you would have a moment, all you would need is 5 minutes of conversation to have with her to learn who she is and what she is capable of doing and not doing. And you would see for yourself." Judge Russo was entirely unmoved by Natalie Shirilla's arguments and actively interrupted her during the statement to shut down her excuses. The exchange in the courtroom became sharp and direct. When Natalie begged the judge to look at the social media videos with different eyes, Judge Russo flatly interrupted and stated, "Those things are not relevant." When Natalie downplayed Davion Flanagan's presence in the car by just calling him a new friend, Judge Russo interjected, disgusted, asking, "What does that mean? His life is worthless?" Natalie quickly backtracked, crying out, "No, no, no, God, oh no, not at all." When Natalie insisted it was just a terrible accident, Judge Russo cut her off and firmly stated, "Well, we're going to have to disagree on that."
Tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it.
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the two dead people.
Dominic, okay, I'm asking you for leniency because this was a tragic accident that she does not remember. And Davion, he's a new friend, and I'm so sorry.
What does that mean? His life is worthless?
No. God, no, not at all. I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never.
Well, we're going to have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right.
That's all. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I love you.
After hearing the victim impact statements of Davion and Dominic's family and hearing her mother plead for her innocence, Mackenzie Shirilla herself stood up and gave a brief, tearful statement to the courtroom. She expressed remorse to the victim's family, stating, "I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you could see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm so heartbroken." She mentioned her bond with the boys, referring to Dominic and Davion as D&D, stating that they were all friends, claiming Dominic was her soulmate. She added that she wished she could take all of their pain away. Shirilla concluded the statement by turning to her family to thank them for their support, love, and for fighting for her.
Is there anyone else?
I would like Mackenzie to address the court.
The families of Dom and Davion, so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davion. We were all friends, and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away, and I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for fighting for me. I love you all so much. I'm done. Thank you.
The fucking audacity.
Dude, and okay.
Of this mother.
Dude, I was literally just about to say that. Like, you couldn't just sit there and be remorseful. You had to sit there and make excuses for all these things. Like, that's done. You're done with that shit now. Like, this isn't a time for
Not at
that.
all.
Like, you need to express how and hold accountability for you and your daughter now, because she
Yes.
can't clearly do it for herself. But you should not be sitting there making excuses. Like, you need to be remorseful and
Yeah, not a
Like,
single,
what?
like, I'm so...
yeah, not a single I'm sorry, not
she
a
did
single
say, "Oh, like, I'm so sorry this happened," but I once heard that everything you say before the word "but" is fucking pointless.
Mhm.
So she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, but the social media posts were X, Y, and Z." Like
you can't, who cares now?
No.
Like, at that point, like, that's all done and over with. Moving on, lady.
no person should experience the amount of loss that these parents had to go through. And the fact that your daughter survived this.
Yeah.
Even let's take it back and look at it from like, oh, this was an accident. It was a tragic accident. 2 boys died, but your daughter survived. And you can't look at the other families and show deep, deep remorse.
I think they're
fucked in the head.
Yeah. I think I really do.
I'm so
really do.
I hate her.
I do too. I really think her mom is like, has like a mental disorder too. Like, they're not all there. Her mom and her dad are not all there.
No, they are kind of strange, and I mean, whatever. People are strange.
The things that seemed important to them
were very weird.
Like the first things that would be important to somebody in like any sort of situation like this.
The social media stuff.
Yes, right.
They're
like, who cares about that? We're done with that now.
They're so absorbed in it, and her parents followed her on
Unless
TikTok.
their lawyer was like, you need to touch on this point, this point, this point.
Why would they have them touch on that point during a victim impact
their lawyers
statement?
Dumb too.
Exactly. That would not be the place for that at all.
I
especially after you watch like these tearful outpours of like the families. And you get up and it makes me fucking sick.
Yeah.
But the fact that her parents followed this, seen this on the daily, and were like, oh, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't see anything wrong with that?
Dude, I would have been like, you are going to boot camp.
Yeah.
Like,
you
send
are to the ranch.
Doing drugs? Like, why? You don't need to do that.
Send her to the fucking ranch.
Yeah, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, but
Dr. Phil.
That has a whole thing going on with it too. We can talk about that another day. I'm just full of useless conspiracies. Following all these statements, Judge Russo delivered her ruling. Guilty. Mackenzie Shirilla was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 15 years. Judge Russo stated, she had a mission and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, and intentional. This was not reckless driving. This was a murder. She became literal hell on wheels.
Deadly decision-making of the defendant. She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive, early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect that few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance. She made these decisions despite knowing, as any reasonable person would, that her mission of death could have involved others, not even in the car with her, other people, other cars, pedestrians. She had a mission and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour.
She was convicted on 12 felony counts, including 4 counts of murder, 2 counts for each victim, felonious assault, and aggravated vehicular homicide. Judge Russo ordered the life sentences for the murders of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan to be served concurrently, rather than consecutively, one after the other. She described the act as controlled. Mackenzie Shirilla was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 15 years. Her earliest parole eligibility is 2037, but parole is not released. It is simply the opportunity to ask. Judge Russo explicitly noted that a 15-year minimum did not mean Shirilla would automatically walk free in 15 years. The judge emphasized that the parole board would look closely at her conduct and remorse, stating she believed it was highly likely that Shirilla would serve much longer than the 15-year minimum if she failed to rehabilitate. Does this seem fair to you?
I have a couple of thoughts on this. If you think about it, 15 years is a very long time. Not for killing somebody. Like, you should not even get a possibility of parole for that. But 15 years is a long time. I mean, she was only 17.
Yes.
That was her whole life. That's double. So it's just like her living her life again. At that point in time, I would think and I would hope that she would have done, 15 years worth of thinking about it, admitting to it, dealing with it, and going through the steps of trying to fix it within herself and the families, and just going through this process of trying to rehabilitate. I'm 15 years ago.
My gripe is allowing her to serve it consecutively. She should have had at the very least 30 years before even thinking about parole. And yes, she was technically a minor while this accident happened, But while she was in the hospital, she turned 18 years old.
So when she was on trial, she was not.
She was tried as an adult.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Me, when I was 17, am not the same person, even in the slightest.
None of us
So
are.
it's exactly. But that's my point, and I hate her. I hate her guts, but I would hope, I guess my point is I would hope that in 15 years, if she does get paroled or has the possibility of parole, that there is actually some sort of change in her as a person, and the accountability is somewhat there, and kind of go from there.
Even within a 15-year span, with the way that this girl is and the way the prison system works, I do not think she will change. I would,
at that point,
I would definitely hope that, and I think all of us would hope that that would be the case, because who the fuck wants her walking around the world, even in 15 years?
They shouldn't have even given her parole. Like like you said, at least 30 years.
Yeah,
because fuck you. Like,
well, it's the possibility of parole. So I mean, she has to meet all of the requirements before even getting there. Well. We're going to get into why I do not believe that is going to be a possibility for Miss Shirilla here. Mackenzie Shirilla is serving her time at the Ohio Reformatory for Women. May 2026, nearly 3 years after her conviction, the Netflix documentary, The Crash, was released. The documentary immediately became a massive hit for the streaming service, quickly climbing to the #1 spot on Netflix global chart, drawing tens of millions of views within its first 2 weeks. The film renewed national attention on the case. Mackenzie Shirilla broke her silence and spoke publicly for the first time since her conviction. What was said was unmoving and somewhat disturbing to most viewers. When asked what she honestly believed happened that morning, she referenced her 2017 medical diagnosis of POTS, which she says caused her to black out. She told the filmmakers, which this is weird how she says this, the most logical speculation seems to be a medical emergency. However, when asked to explain how her medical emergency accounts for her retaining physical control over the vehicle and accelerating to 100 miles per hour, she hedged, saying, "I'm unsure because I have no recollection of that morning. But I know nothing about it was intentional because that's not my character."
It sounds like out of a damn ChatGPT book. Oh my God.
This is hard scripted.
She's a dumbass.
The filmmakers questioned her regarding the highly criticized TikTok videos. Shirilla attempted to contextualize her online persona, stating, "I feel like anybody's social media isn't really them. It's how they want the world to see them. And at that time, that's how my 17-year-old brain was wanting to be seen."
That I can sympathize with.
That's actually what I wrote in my notes, is that I can definitely understand that.
Yes, but you're a piece of shit. You had 3 years to write down something. You have a Netflix documentary global to tell your side of the story to the world, and that's what you come up with? Like, you deserve to be in there 100 times over.
You see what I mean?
Dude.
So this is 3 years after the case already. 3 years in.
Yes. And you had nothing but time to sit there and write out your plea to the world, to his family,
everything.
The parole board, like whoever you need to convince of your bullshit, and that's what you come up with.
Yeah, this document, like when she talked too, it was very strange. The way she sat down for the interview, it was like, I don't know, she like poked her butt out and like sat very like, I don't know. Did
pompously?
You watch?
Yeah.
Like she really does think she's that bitch. She really does. She really does just rub me 100% the wrong way, and she just doesn't understand how unlikable she is.
She doesn't care. Like, she's just like,
but
in her head, she is like fucking the queen shit.
But you have to care at this point. Like she have
acts
a public
like she cares.
persona.
So that's enough to her. That she acts like she cares.
I don't know. I hate her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've said it how many times already. I really do not like her.
Me neither.
It gets so much worse. And I don't think any of this was covered in this documentary.
Oh, good Lord.
While incarcerated, Mackenzie had attempted to appeal. Her new legal team missed the state's mandatory filing deadline for her post-conviction relief petition by exactly 1 day. She had a year, and she took a year and a day. They argued that they were within the time frame because the year was a leap year.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Courts legally did not have the jurisdiction to look at her argument or new neurological reports. Following that, the Ohio Supreme Court declined to review her appeals. But there she still sits. Within that time, she racked up dozens of formal conduct reports, resulting in 32 guilty violations. The violations include minor offenses like disobeying orders as well as serious offenses. She was found guilty of possessing unauthorized items, altered clothing, handmade jewelry, glitter paint, and another inmate's prescription medication. A former inmate named Cheyenne Topping came forward publicly on social media interviews to detail her romantic involvement with Shirilla while she were behind bars. Topping eventually broke off the romance after seeing red flag after red flag. She noted that she was deeply chilled when she found out Shirilla reported laughing while bragging about her prison nickname, Shirilla the Killer. Topping noted that they first crossed paths in the prison yard. Shirilla carried a distinctive Regina George mean girl aura. According to Topping, Shirilla told her that she had never been involved with women prior to her incarceration, stating that Shirilla was gay for the stay, a term used by inmates who engage in same-sex relationships strictly while serving time to cope with isolation.
Even the girl that she was talking to thought she was crazy.
Yeah.
And she was laughing about being called a killer.
Shirilla the Killer.
I mean, it does rhyme.
It does.
It does.
I mean,
but
I'm sure that would be a cool rap name for your fucking 5 followers on Instagram.
For your Free
your Free Mackenzie campaign.
Facebook page that you created for yourself.
I have like no problem with the fact that she engaged in sexual relationships with women, like whatever that happens. But what she said though is like, it's very clear that Mackenzie is not changing. There's
I don't see any change in that, and she's not showing any remorse if she's laughing at being called a killer and fighting with people and sneaking glitter paint. Like, girl,
I didn't care about that. All right, whatever. I mean, I'm sure she's seen like Orange is the New Black once, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna like alter my outfit and be like, oh, I'm this. She thinks she's that bitch.
But you got to think too. Like in prison, like anything's a fucking violation.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had handmade jewelry, violation. Like that's ridiculous.
Like I said, I'm not whatever about that.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's ridiculous.
The taking another inmate's medication though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And she knows like what she's got to do to get parole. So she already should know right now she's not getting it.
No. She should know.
At one point, like, maybe it's just a free for all because
she's also not getting it because she missed it by a fucking day. Did they really think that would work?
Yeah,
because it was a leap year, they really thought that would work. But like, you had a whole year to put this in.
Do you think her lawyer set like the calendar for like 365 days, and then like the leap year hit and it like clicked a day out, and then they're like, oh shit.
I just like,
then their alarm went off.
You had a whole year to put it in. You couldn't have like put it in a month before the year was over, 2 weeks before the year was over. You just decided.
She's getting like the worst lawyers ever too.
Or
like choosing the worst lawyers.
I don't know. Apparently it's obviously not her picking these lawyers. It has to be your parents, right? It's even more worse if you can even believe that. It really does. Shirilla violated video visitation, specifically for exposing herself on camera while an unauthorized person appeared naked. She was found guilty of consensual sexual conduct with another inmate. Rumors persist that Shirilla was using her state-monitored video visitation access to connect with men she had met on sugar daddy matchmaking websites.
How did she find them?
I don't know.
Did they have access to the internet?
They do.
Oh, well, fucking block the sugar daddy websites or don't.
But I feel like she's obviously doing something weird, like manipulating how she uses her visitation.
Well, yeah, she's trying to get money probably.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. But also, how do you can't have consensual sexualation or whatever she had with inmates?
They're not supposed to have sexual contact with any inmates in prison.
That might have been a dumb question, but I guess I didn't know if like
they were allowed to consensually No, there's literally not supposed to be any sexual contact in prison at all. But the men on the other end would put money directly into her prison commissary account in exchange for the explicit video calls. This leads us to where the impacted families are today. In response to the rumors and recordings showing that Shirilla has allegedly used prison video systems to connect with sugar daddies and earn money, the Russo family has begun mobilizing. They are actively pushing Ohio state lawmakers to amend the state's Son of Sam law, which blocks criminals from profiting from their crimes. Their goal is to pass a legislative update that explicitly prevents violent offenders from exploiting social media or digital communication systems behind bars for financial gain and notoriety. Dominic's sister launched her own YouTube podcast called The Big Sister Unhinged. She created it specifically to address the massive amount of internet commentary to ensure the correct truth about Dominic's life, legacy, and the toxic nature of his relationship with Shirilla. She uses a platform to talk openly about sibling loss and teen domestic violence. In interviews, Dominic's sister admitted that the constant stream of new appeals and headlines makes it impossible for her to fully heal. She noted, "The second I settle down, the more I start to think about reality. Sometimes I wish I didn't hear her name anymore." This is so gross that she was doing this with the video calls.
Yes.
I don't know how she got around it, but I'm sure
immature though. Like
I feel like her parents have to have some type of involvement in this like video exchange, because like how else is she like getting these contacts for these men? I feel like her parents, her mom is probably like, oh, this guy's interested in you. Here's his, because it's a direct line. It's not like OnlyFans where they can subscribe. Like she's directly contacting these men
through like a phone number.
Yes.
That's so wild.
So somebody else has to be involved in that. Her parents
wild.
have to be involved in that.
And she's got to know that they know about this. Like the prison system knows all your phone calls, all your video visits. They can watch all of that.
Totally.
And first of all, how did they let it get that far if this was continuing to happen? Don't they monitor those websites?
Yeah.
Don't they block these websites?
That's why I'm saying
don't understand.
It's not a website. Like she obviously has somebody on the outside helping her coordinate these calls with these men. Because
unless it's that girl, her friend that said about the cheeseburgers, because she was in love with her. She was literally saying like she couldn't have done this because she cared about her health, that she wouldn't even eat like a cheeseburger. So she couldn't have done this. So you really think somebody who cared that much about her health would do that to herself? Like that's how she actually talked.
God, yeah, these people are very unlikable. I am so disconnected from the youth today. I don't know if it is just me getting old or if they are just fucking unhinged. Are they?
Yes. Okay. It's social media is the reason.
It is. All too often is it the case that something like this happens and the case blows up, these criminals gain notoriety, and then they pop off and they get their own TV show, they get their own podcast, they get money, they do whatever.
Yes.
And then they're profiting because of they committed a crime.
And sometimes the certain like serial killers and stuff like that, like they become a serial killer specifically to get famous.
The fame and notoriety.
Yes. Yeah. Which if they can't profit off of it, maybe they wouldn't do it. I mean, you'd still be famous and people would still know about it, but you couldn't get rich off of it. So that's a big deterrent, I would think.
It's awesome that his sister is doing this, the Big Sister podcast.
Yeah.
And she is very concerned with like maintaining his legacy and who he was as a person. I don't feel like it's stated enough, and I am not shaming him. I'm not bashing him. I'm not saying he was in the wrong, because he did not deserve to die at all whatsoever. But Dominic was a drug dealer. Like we have to face that fact, because it does come into play, the fact that the reason why this happened. Not saying that him dealing drugs was the case, but his relationship with Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Because they had a connection over these drugs. There was videos of Mackenzie having like these fat stacks of cash, like in videos.
That's a lot of money.
Like he did whatever. He made music. He traded stock.
But he was like a little young entrepreneur, though.
Yeah,
like
and
he would have
I do want to highlight that. I do want to highlight that.
Yes.
But we cannot just look past the fact that he did sell drugs. Like whatever.
Hey,
I don't care.
It got him started. You know
I don't
what I'm
care.
saying?
He's a small-time drug dealer. He sold pot to his girlfriend. Whatever. I don't care. And I don't want people to think that I'm saying that caused.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like, what drugs have a lot to do with like bad things.
I'm just talking about his relationship with Mackenzie. like it's clear that had a big part in their relationship.
Oh yeah, the drugs.
Yes.
Yeah, and him dealing them.
If he didn't have that money, he he would buy her like expensive handbags and shoes. She had like no employment. I don't think that amount of money is justified for the things that he did for income, and neither for her.
Yeah. Besides drugs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying is that
Yeah, and I mean, money makes people do stupid shit too.
Yeah.
So like, if she, that could have had a lot to do with their issues too.
I think
she
that's
was
also
entitled
why she
because
felt
of the same thing.
entitled to like his money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't.
And he was gonna cut her off, and she wasn't having it.
Yeah. Like I said, I do not care that he sold drugs. Small time drug dealer. Dime a dozen. We all had that guy that we bought 20 bags from. It's not now.
No.
Well, the kids now, they get to just freaking walk down the res or to the local dispensary and buy their pot. We didn't have to do it that way. The family of Davion Flanagan had generally chose a quieter, more private path to healing, focusing their energy on keeping Davion's memory alive. Davion's parents, Jamie and Scott Flanagan, have consistently used their limited public platforms to remind the world that Davion was completely innocent. He was a hardworking 19-year-old who was just a passenger getting a ride home. They continue to highlight his warmth, his love for his sisters, and his dreams of attending barber school. His family created the Davion Flanagan Memorial Scholarship Fund, a nonprofit organization where the family partners directly with the All-State Hairstyling and Barber College in Cleveland, Ohio. Davion and his two younger sisters were adopted when they were 8 years old. He always referred to his adopted family as his second chance in life. His parents explicitly stated that their goal with the charity is to pay it forward and give other young people a second chance to build a career. Through a GoFundMe campaign, the foundation successfully surprised its first recipient, a former foster youth who shared a similar background to Davion.
We lost Davion on July 31st, 2022 to a car crash.
It was really hard to cope with at first, but I've grown through it all and my parents have been there for me, which has been really nice. I'm just blessed to have such amazing people in my life who care.
He was really an amazing young man who touched the lives of almost anyone he came in contact with.
Davion wanted to attend All-State Barber College to become a barber, and his dream was to open his own shop.
We felt really compelled to make something good happen out of such a senseless tragedy.
So we're here to actually award our very first full tuition paid scholarship, was the balance of their tuition. It's actually a surprise.
Mel?
Yes.
On behalf of the Davion Flanagan Memorial Fund, we would like to award you this scholarship to pay your remaining tuition balance in full.
Well, I'm surprised, that's for sure, because I got tricked, but I am super stoked. Me and Davion had much in common, actually, because I'm a foster kid. I will definitely honor him every day when I'm at the shop, when I'm not.
He had always called us his second chance, and our goal has been to give others a second chance or help do something positive.
They paid off their remaining barber school tuition balance in full.
I love this. This is the only good thing to ever come out of these situations, is usually because I feel like if they don't do these types of things, they like forget about them. So like when they start these like foundations and these nonprofit organizations in their name,
it's
so
ever.
great. Yes. And I hate that these things happen, but at least one positive thing can come out of these types of things.
Again, like just hug your babies tight, raise them right, love them, but like teach them right from wrong and teach them accountability.
Emphasis on the accountability.
I mean, she was completely incapable of empathy, like her entire family. And they've made it very clear that they have not an empathetic shred in their soul. Like,
Agreed.
she felt entitled to take these boys' lives. And if you feel like you can, please do go support the GoFundMe for the Davion Flanagan Memorial Scholarship Fund. We'll put the GoFundMe in the show note. There's something deeply uncomfortable about this story because people want tragedies to make sense. We want warning signs to flash red, but life rarely works that way. Sometimes destruction arrives looking completely ordinary. 3 teenagers, a summer night, a ride home. 2 futures disappear. Dominic never got to grow up, and Davion never opened that barbershop. And whatever happened inside that car, whether you believe it was intentional, whether you believe it was preventable, the outcome remains exactly the same. 2 families woke up one morning and entered a version of their life they had never asked for. Love people while they are here and drive safe.
Okay, guys, and that was today's episode. We are definitely going to put the link for the Davion Flanagan Memorial Fund in the description below, so make sure you guys check it out. If you can't donate, you can still share it. You can share their GoFundMe page. We want you guys to submit your stories to us and your small business features, so those will also be in the show notes as they are every single episode. So please fill them out. We love to highlight you guys. We love to highlight the small businesses. We really want to put our listener stories out there. They don't have to be related to the episode that we're doing. So even if there's anything that you want to tell us that, you want to get off your chest and
yeah, even
about
if
your spooky stuff, we want to hear
like
it.
a case deeply disturbed you, you can talk to us about it. I mean, this case deeply disturbed me.
That was today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.